Hey guys, what's up? I just wanted to do a quick little video showing you these couple knives that I picked up the other day. These are two sprint runs, Spyderco sprint runs. The green is the sprint run Tenacious in this like foliage green G10 handle, and then the blue one's the sprint run Persistence in the blue handle, obviously. So I just wanted to show these off. You know, I think they're pretty sweet looking, and they just add a whole different element to the knife that just makes them that much more enjoyable. You know, to me, the Tenacious is already a pretty sweet knife. We all know that it's a great buy at, you know, $30-something. But then when you have the option to buy a limited production version of that knife for pretty much the same price, you know, you just can't go wrong with making that purchase, because, you know, it's got a whole different collectability factor that you know, the mass-produced Tenacious just doesn't have, because it is a Chinese-made blade and it is produced on such a large scale, you know, that it's just not going to be a collectible blade. But, you know, when you start producing them in limited runs with different features, you know, such as you know, handle scale color, that just makes them a completely different knife, at least in my perspective. So, yeah, I mean, I just wanted to show them to you. This is, I have owned a Tenacious before. I did a review on a Tenacious that I had actually given away to my brother. So I've owned a Tenacious before, but I've never owned the Persistence, which is the one step down in size from the Tenacious, in the family of four. You know, you have the Resilience, the Tenacious, the Persistence, then the Ambitious, with the Resilience being larger and the Ambitious being smaller than the Persistence. So these are pretty much the two middle-sized knives, and, you know, the Tenacious in particular I think is a perfect size for an EDC knife. I believe the blade's I think 3.5, maybe a little bit under 3.5. And just overall, it's got a pretty short length. The handle and blade are pretty much 1-to-1, so, you know, it's not an overly large knife. And this thing is just incredibly smooth. This is honestly the smoothest Spyderco knife I've ever owned. The pivot was tweaked just a little bit too tight when I got it, so I just relieved it about a drop, and it's just like glass. It's incredible. Watch when I depress the lock bar here. You can just see how smooth that is. The blade just starts to fall down. It's crazy. It is extremely freaking smooth. The Persistence, not so much, but I mean, it still comes out with some really nice authority. Not a slouch for sure. The lock bar, or the liner lock on this, is a little bit harder to depress. It's got a little bit more tension on it, but I mean, the lockup on both of these are pretty good. They're about the same on both. I'd say about 100% engagement, which only covers about the first half of the tang, so it's not really so it's still an early lockup. They're both perfectly centered. This one was a little bit off center when I got it, but now it's perfectly centered. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Again, if you know, you didn't, I'm sure you have known about these knives. I'm sure you've seen these, and if not the sprint run, I'm sure you've seen these in the regular production versions. But if you do not own either of these in the regular production version, or even if you do, I strongly encourage you to go pick up one, maybe even two of these things. You know, it'd be a nice idea to have perhaps a blue persistence and a green persistence, because I believe they do both come in, both of these I think come in both blue and green. Just Blade HQ, where I purchased these, only had each of these models in the color that I have here. I don't think they had the Tenacious blue and the persistence green yet, so these are the ones I picked up so far. When they do get the other ones in stock, I probably will pick them up just because they're freaking awesome. You know, $35 knives, pretty much both of them. I think they're 36 bucks. Can't go wrong. Again, you got collectability factor, and you got the fact that it's just a great quality, well-valued knife for what you're going to pay for it. And you don't have to be afraid of beating these things, because, like, you know, you only paid 35 bucks, so it's not like you're thrashing a $300 knife. Anyways, that's it. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for some more stuff to come.